Hello, hello everyone. Hello. I would have been on a lot sooner for the RP, but was not feeling the greatest. Now this works. So, we're basically just gonna jump right into this.
A name.
You were working on the G-Warrior thing.
Yeah, I feel like we never gave it a name. I thought we just called it the battleground. Got it.
There's a little town there.
Understood. Oh, hey.
No.
Still down there.
By the seaside.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Well then, look who it is.
Hi. I was busy, apologies.
You're alive.
Hey, do you wanna go go plant a sensor somewhere?
Okay, where to this time, Luma?
Wonderful.
I thought you
We have
said
no one there at
mama.
the current moment.
Oh my word.
I would like you to go to the Trunning Myth, specifically Mother of the Sheaf, if you know that little island.
I do. I can do that.
There. People always want to send me yeah. Regardless, I think that for the most part covers everyone. Everyone got one, right? I did not miss one. Not you. You go with someone.
Yeah, he's coming with me this time.
Wonderful. Enjoy the. Don't worry. Don't worry, Ryder. You get to climb a mountain first. Then
I still don't avoid the fire!
You get to climb the mountain twice.
Ah.
Once there, once back.
it's a very pretty
True.
place. Very blue. Regardless. That is where we'll be planting them. I'm pretty sure that's most of the areas, and that will be it for this wave. The next one, we'll be spreading out further. I have a couple of islands. Probably have the sun's gonna show. Regardless, any questions, concerns, or anything at the current moment?
Yeah, I have
Is
a
there-
question.
If it's about sandworms, then shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Now, while people here, is there any major concerns or anything that needs to be gone over while we have everyone's attention?
How the hell do I get to the peaks? And where do I go? Where is this?
You
You're
don't
gonna be
live there?
No, I'm from
mean,
here.
Al amigo.
I'm here. I don't know
Yeah.
you.
Aki
Don't
can always
worry.
bring you.
You both are going there, just opposite sides.
Oh, that's helpful.
Just follow me.
Get lost and you'll find your way.
Just follow me, we'll be back.
This is a general reminder to the other Reapers out there. I hope you've asked your voices their names.
Yes.
Oh, what is it?
Prism.
Prism. That's a good name. Mine's is MIDI.
I know I made many MIDI
What's
scratch.
your person's name, Red?
I haven't spoke to it in a long time, so I
Oh.
need to speak to it
On the
again.
spot.
What do you fucking
Right
mean
now,
you haven't
right
spoken
now.
your voice in a long time? They're in your fucking head, man!
Midi is
We
like-
don't fully have
It's a no
conversation
talk
that often.
contract.
Nope.
Do it right now.
Oh, look at
We must know.
Look at
I
that, they're
can't
dead.
believe you killed
Mm.
Moose.
Ask that
Mm.
question.
Sorry.
He's just, they're just so basically focused on eating other stuff.
Anywhere specific along the other side of the
That's
wall.
all you're
So just
getting
mention
them to
the
focus
wall.
on.
Literally anywhere along that river should work. I would probably go a bit southward if I were you.
I see.
There's a cave near there. I don't remember what it's called. It has something to do with. It's meteor something.
Shatoto's
I'm
comment?
sure you'll find it. Yes.
And you said,
Thank you.
Oh,
It's been a while since I've been there.
Sorry. What'd you say?
the sea clouds where? If I may remember
You are going to the Comlink. Comlink? No, Comlink. That's it.
Gotcha.
You will find it. Good luck. Anyone else not clear about where they're going again?
Actually, I have one more question.
no.
Oh my god.
Sandworms,
Is
right
this still about sandworms?
there.
Yeah, Ryder.
His favorite, by the way, in case you're wondering.
His favorite. His absolute favorite.
It's his favorite, even above cheesy bacon.
Oh,
Really
dang.
is.
Oh no, you might want to run.
Push a sandworm back and
Yeah,
make
I'm getting
cheesy
ready for
bacon
that,
out.
actually, yeah.
It's gonna attack
Hey,
me
sat back
down the
down.
stairs.
You know, in that regard,
back down.
Luma, you know, if we have to
Say,
spread out further, have Ryder
You
go to
are
the
right
burn.
in front of those two. Your weapon is sort of phasing
Oh,
through those.
sorry. Yeah.
We're enjoying it.
It's nice and shiny.
I can't believe Atlas enjoys the penetrant. Never mind.
Ryder?
Wow.
I mean, it's not that bad. but-
That raises so many questions I have now.
But that you didn't need to say that out loud.
Yes. Oh, and the red.
Not question my friend's preferences.
Do keep your guard up. For the past week or
Got it.
so, there hasn't been any sighting of Woodson whatsoever, which is a bit unsettling after, well, countless
Yeah.
attacks of Palpatine. It has been eerily quiet.
Hmm.
Oh, make sure to keep my guard up.
You, Rin, you guard Luma with your life. You got that?
I gotcha.
The only reason I haven't summoned any of my familiars is because I don't know what will happen because of you want no. Regardless, any other questions? Any other concerns? Things that need to be brought up? Literally anything when everyone's attention is here. Any group discussions?
Can we send Ryder to the burn next?
Do you
I call second on that.
I mean, I was gonna send him down that.
I mean, he loves worms. There's a whole
Sandworms.
there's a whole colony of worms in the burn.
There's someone else I was actually going to send to the burn.
Oh, okay. I'll leave it to you.
Sarai.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What a reply. That was so, that was so
Yes,
exciting.
Ryder. How can I help you?
Uh-oh.
Shit.
I thought so.
Oh,
I have
yes,
a story
I
for
see.
you.
Oh, joyous days. Well, it seems like there isn't much.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
This quiz became a combat normal. Regardless, it seems like there's nothing else to be said. So that being the case, you are free to go and do as you please. That's
Cool. I'm gonna drink.
It isn't much more than
I'm gonna drink myself to death. That's what I'm gonna do.
Ryder, I gotta
You heal too fast.
Nobody
Don't
likes
fall down the stairs.
Oh, he'll fall down the stairs.
So about sandworms, right?
I'll explain it to you in a minute. I'll explain it to you.
Wow, he actually likes it.
built different.
I see I've missed a fair bit.
Going to need it. I think he's gonna need another
Um,
to snap this.
Not too much, actually. Miss Luma called and bless up. Very offer work, so to speak. Give us some work with sensors.
I see.
I see.
You, oh my God.
Good binding
I'm
helps.
gonna go aim at it from my family.
Baby Light has left the tower.
Actually, how did that go?
Are you ready to go?
He's okay. Here, it's gonna take out the letter. It's got an address at the bottom because he doesn't know where he's going.
7 Archon burgers.
Yes, but did he ever leave? Did he go through the gate at all?
Hold that, Tay, that's yours.
No, not through the gate, but he did leave the tavern to empty his gun after I served him coffee cheese.
We need to remember, we need to keep an eye on him if he leaves through the
You're
gate.
going up in the clouds.
We'll find out.
Hear you again. Yeah, but as Luma said,
Hmm.
there will be a bit of
You
stormy
know where
weather.
I'm at, so.
Have to be careful.
Oh, if you think it's storm.
Is that down there?
Where are you heading to this time, Atlas?
Oh, I'm going to. It was, where was it? Siren's
Can
Hall.
you pass out the census, please?
Oh. Yeah, have fun with that one.
I got the Sea of Clouds.
I can make sure they're given out.
I got the Churning Mists.
Song, the lighthouse.
Good, wonderful, thank you.
Wait,
Some good shape estimates. Doesn't look like it's gotten much better.
Yeah, there were stories of it being haunted a while ago. It seems like where someone drove off whatever was there, but
You never know what else might take place.
exactly.
Makes this so dilapidated.
Hmm.
I have been,
I don't even know how that lighthouse even got there, to be honest. That's been there for who knows how long. Yes.
What was the? I mean, it's been so long. I haven't really seen him in ages.
Hmm.
We're just hoping that this one doesn't come in contact with the whale. What the hell was the whale's name?
What, Bismarck?
Bismarck.
There shouldn't be.
Don't.
You shouldn't have any issues with that.
If you feel
Okay.
Bismarck,
Piss
beside.
Bismarck off. He's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, just they shouldn't be giving you any trouble anymore. And if they do,
Hey,
it should be fine.
hey.
Hi.
Fair. The voice that is Rena over.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Besides, Bismarck necessarily wouldn't. Only primarily attacked the outer islands, not the main islands. But then that was before he got put in check, so
We'll find you one.
Oh gosh.
Gotcha.
you should be fine.
Full name,
I mean, if they do summon one,
at this point, just
call us. We'll be over flash. Besides, I'm gonna be in the Churning Mist. I'll be short of distance away, and I can take care of that pretty quickly, I think.
Alright.
Hmm.
No problem.
Why
Never properly introduced myself. Crystal Saberheart.
When you are heading out.
Sarai. Sarai Kaiseri.
prefer not to.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
I prefer not to. Okay. Well, give them a name or ask for a nickname.
Shall we?
So this time I would take you to where you're supposed to go, but
Where are the
opposite.
sensors?
You're going to the sky. I'm staying here.
Luma, where did Neb put the sensors this time?
He's going to go prep them. He will have them ready for everyone at the bar.
Got it. Thanks.
I didn't get to talk to you all day.
Still that thing you said yesterday, right?
promise. Talk to me later down there.
Take care, Luma.
Yesterday, you mean like what?
And I'm just gonna go stay at the bar and watch Ryder make a fool of himself somewhere.
So, normal things, basically.
Yes, basically.
Hmm.
I had a very informative day today. And there's a lot of theories I want to test, but I'm not allowed to.
I mean, you could.
No,
I have to do with
she
primal.
can't.
Wait, did you say you want to mess with the primal?
And... No, I said I have a lot of theories that I would like to test, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. And then you said that,
Oh.
well, you can. I'm like, well, it involves primals and void scent and...
Fair. Exploring more into your summoning stuff.
Yes.
Hmm.
So trying to... What's the word? It's not enthrallment. Every time it comes down to it, I just can't remember the word.
Tempered.
Tempered.
Like a
Tempered,
blade.
thank you.
Temper.
I don't know why, but it always slips my mind. I'm trying to figure out, can a void scent be
Just in
People
regards
get
to-
mind controlled by primals.
Probably not.
Well, who's to really say, like, understanding how tempering works and all, like, will either A, kill them, B, do nothing, or C, work.
Well, let's put it this way. It's more of a primal exerting its will over a person with their influence.
Not exactly.
Hmm.
It's more or less an imbalance.
Huh?
That too.
So a void scent already having an imbalance of ether. How would that work? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Either A, death, B, nothing, C, work.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth trying to find that one out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would love to know, but I can't exactly test it.
Yeah, because you'd have to actually summon an actual primal and not an actual Eji. And I'm pretty sure no one's gonna let you summon one.
Yeah, thanks. That's my Tuesday afternoon after tea.
Quite against the idea.
Same.
Careful.
No, just summon them for fun.
No, you don't. No, you really don't. Eshis are one thing, actual primals are another. And it never goes well for the one who summons it.
Listen, I finally got to rant about my research today, so I'm quite content.
Fair enough.
Awesome. I mean, we managed to feed Ryder actual food, so...
Wait, you actually got him to eat actual food for once?
We fed Ryder something that wasn't cheesy bacon. He ate actual food.
Ate a vegetable.
Yeah, but she went actual indefinitely from the primal side.
Okay. Right. Fair enough.
You were, I'm sure that's decent enough, right?
Walking around, going outside.
Like you said, I thought you said like yesterday. I'm like, what?
No,
You did in the morning.
Alright, hi. I'm Ryder.
I'm
an
alright.
adventurer. What's your name?
Hello.
And you.
You got pulled back there.
Pleasure to meet you.
Well enough. Took a day or two to rest and recover after
I noticed that you have a thingy on your
the
back.
attack last week. Since then,
That's
care
fair.
some business. Nothing
Hi, so
particularly
you're referring to
interesting,
my
I
guitar?
think.
Hey, Sudan. Hey, Val.
I see.
Days of
I see.
rest and days of
Would you like a
extreme
closer look?
exertion.
I would love a closer look, please.
Guildmistress asked me about void stuff.
No, you manage your energy.
Okay, there we go.
Important,
Whatever.
I suppose.
I see. This is where you compliment
Oh, what were you getting stuck up with? Haven't seen you in a while.
Let's see. Having to deal with a bunch of Charlian scholars, plus scholars from all over wanting to ask you about what you've done for your research. As the newly appointed Archon of Dynamis, that was to be expected, but it was still draining.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Not that I don't mind, it's just... it was a lot. So, that's what kept me for a while.
Usual scholar stuff, but without the scholar part. Or I guess technically it's included.
Yeah, it's just more of having to field endless questions about how I've proved this, how did I test this, all of that fun things, and it's like, thankfully I have ways of being able to do so, it's somewhat tedious and repetitive.
You told me when I first met you that you learned, like, everything that you can in terms of, like, the other jobs and stuff. Does that include Reaper?
I have dabbled in it.
Oh!
I don't know... Okay, let me clarify. Before I get to that, let me clarify a little bit. I don't know every profession that is out there. I know a good deal of them. I have trained a good deal of them. Now, there are a few that I do not know. Magic is my specialty. That is what I prefer. It's what I like to do. But, to answer your question, let's see. I don't think I've ever asked it for its name.
So seems to be the trend.
I'll be honest, I don't particularly like dealing with it if I can help it, but it is useful. Dabbling in the void is never a pleasant concept, in my opinion.
It's only unpleasant because people refuse to look outside of their own shallow worldview.
That's fair. And I'm not saying I have anything against Reapers, it's just, for me, it's...
Oh no, you can hate Reapers all you want.
No, I don't.
It's not the Void Sense fault that they exist.
It's just a little concerning is all for me. So, when I utilize that weaponry and its abilities, I exercise caution as best I can.
Well, that's good to do. But it is the bare minimum.
Fair.
Ask your Void Sent their name. Just see what happens.
Well, if I get the
Try to
time...
have a dialogue.
If I get the time during this coming week, I'll endeavor to do so and see what happens.
Okay.
But aside from that, not much else on my neck of the woods. I will say though, being able to go home and be with my wife has been wonderful for these past few days.
Congratulations to you.
Oh my god, I think I just saw.
How have you both been?
I've been alright.
I suppose I can echo the sentiment. After the attacks last week, a few days to rest and recover, and took care of some business. Continuing to reach out to old acquaintances. Lost contact with.
Anywho, the music sounds really nice though. It's kind of bumping.
It's been nice.
I heard a few reports of the attack that happened. I hope no one was too seriously injured.
Yeah, well, we've got people who cheat around, so everyone came out fine in the end.
I believe I heard mention of that when listening to the song.
You know, the magical stuff.
It's not necessarily cheating now, is it?
Yeah, unfortunately I caught it right away.
Don't understand.
Agree to disagree.
Perhaps you would be willing to indulge me by explaining what you mean.
Now the Aeolian Shuffle. The Aeolian Shuffle. I'm doing it.
So at least for potions, you need to go out of your way to actually collect things. There's a time loss, an investment. Something that makes it finite. Whereas for magical healing, all you really need to do is stress a muscle every day, and then you can always do more and more and more, until eventually, everything's meaningless. And on top of it, so too is your own accomplishments. Sure, your glory grows. But eventually everyone just looks at you as a cheat code to how to get out of their own poor decisions. They can be reckless.
Would the same not
It doesn't
be said
matter.
for anyone who uses a potion?
Well, like I
made a
said,
mistake.
there is a time investment in that. And you
Is
can
there
only
not
grow
a
so
time
much.
investment in learning how to wield magic properly?
There is. But it's infinite.
Where are you getting these damn
It's infinite to a point.
When it comes to
From the
making,
ancient primal known as Will Smith.
it's infinite to a point unless someone's morals get a bit screwy.
He knows a secret that we don't.
And what do you mean by when someone's morals get screwy?
Will Smith or something?
That was wonderful.
I don't know.
When the shortcut itself becomes a shortcut.
Quick round of applause. Yes.
Thank you.
A shortcut becomes what?
A shortcut.
Man, it's so loud.
When the shortcut becomes a shortcut.
Oh, I know, right?
You'll
That is
forgive me
like
if I...
saying bread is bread and water is water. If something is
You already know.
That was really,
meant to be
I'm being genuinely serious when I
an
said
easier
I'm being
way of
confusing on
accomplishing a
purpose.
task,
Thank you.
Point
I
is,
I'm
am,
glad to see everyone
but I'm
enjoyed
trying
it.
to understand you as best I can, because I don't
You did
misrepresent you in my
dancing.
mind.
You were doing something.
yes, I was dancing.
You were definitely moving.
you're a weird one. But not in a bad way.
Yeah, I almost said never mind. But that was great.
Basically.
I know.
The only thing that people like white mages really need to get better are people who are hurt. It doesn't matter how they get them.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
I'm sure you can connect the dots.
You know what? For future preference, I would love to definitely sit down.
You're insinuating that a white mage gets stronger due to them practicing their arts on others. How the others are injured is not necessarily of consequence so long as they get to practice. Am I understanding you correctly?
No, actually.
Correct.
On the jukebox that he had in his apartment, it did say two.
It's an interesting statement to make, though you're not entirely wrong.
Would you not argue that anyone else, say one who wields a sword, learns by hurting others?
Indeed.
I've never heard this word before.
The same line
could.
of logic could be applied the same way in other professions.
How do you end the conversation?
I suppose that's fair. Scum can exist in any kind of profession. Healers especially shouldn't be made exempt. Usually they're over-glorified as saints, people who can do no wrong.
Usually the party tank that gets such glory, standing at the front line, taking blow after
You would
blow.
think.
Maybe we've just had different experiences. As someone who has traveled the width and breadth of this star as all variety of different professions, I have seen some who seek to only get better themselves by hurting others. I've seen those who seek to do good. I've seen both sides of the coin. I've experienced both sides of the coin. I've seen it from all sides. But does that exempt from others doing harm to others to get better themselves? No. That's always going to happen. There are those who are always going to seek power by whatever means necessary. That's just a fact of life. But it is not fair to lump an entire profession into that.
Anyone who sees a soldier sees a killer. People do it all the time.
You're not
Not
wrong.
healers.
You're not wrong. We are always villains in someone's story.
I won't say this much. At least, when a killer kills you, it's over.
I'm sorry.
Definitely on it.
Sorry, can you repeat that over time? I did not hear.
I said, please,
That doesn't happen
if you
for
could prove us all wrong with our musical eloquency, with your beautiful music, please do
And
so.
that makes them worse.
I could.
It is a cruel thing,
This was a bit
yes.
too funny. I don't want to take away from that.
Anyone who
Perhaps next time.
misuses
My favorite instrument is
white magics in such a way should be stopped. Agreed.
But it is not fair to say that every healer does that.
I didn't say that they did. Just they haven't yet.
That's also not fair to say that they still will. You do not know that. Nor can you make that
People
statement.
always say to people who hold a sword, you'll kill someone someday. It doesn't matter how much you train otherwise. You will kill someone because eventually you'll be given no choice. Why is it that
but
people don't do the
to
same for that?
resurrect an enemy, just to murder them again, destroy them,
It was a cheesy bacon, wasn't it?
that is a choice, not an inevitability.
Indeed.
It's what makes
All
it
it
such
takes
a
is something
vile
to
and
keep
evil
something
thing.
up.
Very simple things.
Get ready for comments of their appearance.
But everyone can give in to intrigue and raise choice, not an inevitability.
You know, with every other kind of subject, people say different. It's only healers, ever healers, that are ever given the exemption because people can't conceive the notion that someone would do that.
Perhaps because the majority of people who take the time to practice such art, one that is not as self-seeking as others, tend to be the ones who are the most willing to sacrifice themselves. Tend to be, of course.
There are
There are
exemptions to
certainly
that
a
rule.
number of selfish conjurers out there, those who pick up the art and practice it for coin or for glory.
I knew a sage who did
To
that.
condemn all feel is
I knew a sage did something very similar to what you're describing, Niche. A Charlian scholar, practitioner of the sage arts, would go around posing as a healer, claiming to be able to heal people of various ailments for coin or other such items. Turns out he was very much not doing that. Oh sure, he put up the front, he put up the face. But when you looked deeper, and when people finally did look deeper, he was doing something much worse. Those he was taking under his care for treatment was found to be torturing them, experimenting on them, utilizing them for his own gain, for whatever purpose it was, who knows. The only reason he was brought to light is because one such individual was part of that and escaped. Caught the eye of another sage who couldn't believe that there was another Charlian scholar sage that could do such a thing. They thought it was impossible, improbable. And yet, the evidence kept piling up for them. More and more things started piecing together, till finally 2 other friends of the escapee were found, sharing their side of the story. Until, at long last, the other sage could no longer deny it. She admitted that there was an evil that had taken root, an evil that needed to be excised. And so together, they confronted this scholar, the one who had been doing this experimentation. He gleefully admitted everything. He boasted that he sought power, that he wanted to rise above all. He believed that he was in the right, that his abilities netted him respect and admiration, power. He was laid low. His deeds were stopped. Those who had been suffering under him could finally know peace. No one is infallible, Niche. There are always going to be people in this world who will seek power by any means necessary. But it doesn't mean that everyone will fall to that temptation.
All you've really done is just prove to me that other people will do it. So I guess white mages aren't the only perfect scum out there. It's all healers. Thanks for that.
You can choose what you want to believe. One bad apple in a bunch does not mean the whole bunch is bad.
I suppose you and I disagree.
Indeed. But that is the way of things. We each have our own opinions. We each have our own experiences. We've seen things that the other may not have, and perhaps never will. Your opinions are your own, and that I can respect. But I will still say that it is not fair to group every healer under that umbrella, that they will fall to search for power by tormenting others. Will it happen? Certainly. But not every single one of them will do that.
You see, the difference is between you and I is that it's the chance that is enough.
But then, there is a chance of darkness in every foe.
Indeed.
Is there not?
Sure. But there's a distinct difference in what that darkness can attain. No one should have to be made to suffer that long.
I've been meaning to wonder and ask, why are you so adamant about this, Niche? Is it something you experienced yourself personally?
Who knows?
Fair enough. We all have our secrets after all. In that regard, how has your training been going, Aster, with the art of Sage?
I've been unable to make progress.
Why is that?
I haven't been able to properly attune to the weapons. They resist, in a way. Strange.
Perhaps, if we get some time, perhaps I can sit down with you. Maybe see if I can give you some pointers.
Perhaps. I had initially considered traveling to Javania, actually. I am aware that Idleshire is there, and I thought perhaps I might be able to find someone there. Or perhaps some old dusty tomes or something left behind.
I don't know many sages, if any, in Idleshire. Though there was one a while back. She was staying there for a time. I'm not sure if she's moved on in the recent months.
Might be worth a trip, though, with regards to Lady Liluma's request. I'll also be traveling to the edges of Kiribania. My first time there. Never traveled beyond the wall, at least not.
It's an interesting sight, to say the least. Very much a juxtaposition from the Shroud to Kiribania.
So I've heard, speaking with the refugees on occasion from Little Alamigo. A number of them would speak of their lands and their beauty, but in their inhospitality.
I know what you mean.
Inhospitality. Conversation with Nish has me a bit flustered, I suppose.
I don't blame you. As someone who also practiced and mastered the arts of healing, I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time it is...
It's not even that bothers me. Someone could hate me for being a white mage and wouldn't bother me so much. It's more that there is a certain darkness to his soul, tainted by his pain, his experience, his anger at the world.
Walk with me.
To see someone pained, I suppose it just makes me sad. I wish I could do more.
I understand that. I need to get away from that loudness. It's getting a little hard to think.
That I can understand.
Let me ask you this.
Far, noisier.
Let me ask you this, Aster. If an opportunity presented itself to you, one that promised powers beyond your imagination, that you could be the strongest white mage in all of Eorzea, would you do it?
I don't know. I suppose it would really depend on the circumstances.
Indeed.
Before I had my accident, I wasn't exactly famous, but I was well known for my skill. In my practice.
Hmm.
Why they would entrust combating trials against these primals.
Hmm.
Things got bad, but truthfully, I suppose it was the journey to that point that meant more to me. Spending the centuries I did in Orford, finding myself stagnating. After the calamity, seeing more of the world, I suppose it finally meant something. I didn't want to become better just to help my people or to sate my own curiosities. I wanted to help others, strangers, people I didn't know, to do truly good deeds for the sake of doing them. I suppose. But there is some truth in Nisha's words. I know if that day on the bridge, if I had had the power to save their lives and my own, I suppose I would have taken it. To try to push through the exhaustion. Keep my fear at bay.
But could you do it knowing that there was a cost attached?
I don't regret what happened. If the cost was losing 8 years of my life to make certain others could continue to live, then
I guess. Let me ask this then from the perspective of what I've learned from Niche so far. If you had the power to save them, but it came at the cost that as soon as you did so, many more around you would immediately keel over in pain, crying out for help. Hurt, injured, maybe even dead. Would that be worth it to you?
Then what would...
Is that a power that you want
not
to gain?
Ask them to make such a sacrifice.
Exactly.
Not without knowing, at least. If I am to give up my life for others, that is one thing.
Mm.
To give up the lives of others, not knowing whether or not they are willing to make such a sacrifice, seems wrong. It is not my life to give, not mine to take. And though my hope would be that they would, as many cases we are asked to give so others may live, sacrifice parts of ourselves. I know that it's not the way of some people.
And this is how I know you have a good heart, Aster.
I've never had such a doubt.
Nor did I suspect you of it.
Me.
I ask because it helps to put in perspective what Niche is saying. To me, something has happened to them. Something very painful, something very dark has happened to them. You don't gain a hate like that just by happenstance. That is a hate, that is a pain that is gained through an experience. To lump all healers, to lump white mages, conjurers, sages, scholars, arcanists, all into one, astrologians even. You don't do that without something happening. What it is, I do not know, nor will I pry into that. Not unless they choose to give that answer.
I would not speak on it, as it is not my secret to tell.
Nor would I expect you to. Hence why I told them we all have secrets.
What pains me is that darkness in his heart. His anger, his pain. There is truth, for certain, to some of what he says. That there are flaws everywhere.
Indeed.
But if you look at those flaws and focus on them, those flaws are all you will see. You will never see the good.
Exactly.
He speaks of a friend he lost when he was young. I believe you're familiar with our ways. Our people.
Yes.
There is truth that, yes, segmenting our society, our peoples, so arbitrarily, as some might say, without fully understanding the context of these decisions, these choices. Yes, they seem cruel. There is a necessity behind these things. I lost friends as well. People I grew up with in those most young of my years.
We've all lost people, Master.
Kid too. That is what I wish he would see. Everyone is in pain, in one way or another. It's by standing together and trying to lift each other up. Not seeing the darkness, looking for the light, searching for those truly good people, protecting them.
Yeah. Mayhaps one day he will see that.
Protecting the light. Maybe.
But that's a decision he has to come to.
I have resolved myself, at the very least, to show him, through action. I know my words will not reach him. He will simply use them against me.
I noticed.
To be the...
I've also noticed that he twists the words to his own benefit.
Yes. It is an unfortunate part of his nature, but one that I do not blame.
No. It's who he is. It's what he's learned. It's what he's become. You don't change that in an instant.
Yes, an unfortunate side effect, I believe, from his training, his earliest of years. Being isolated, I find, does not do well to suit one's social skills, nor being able to necessarily empathize so much with others.
Indeed.
To see that light.
The one thing I will say, at least, is you cannot stress too much about it. Whatever...
I try not to.
Whatever he
No
chooses
matter
to
how
do.
much his words sting.
I know. Trust me, they affect me
Be a
too.
loyal friend. Where he has lacked one, unfortunately. That is my goal.
You remind me of a story.
One who denies his...
A story perhaps for another time, but... It reminds me of a story. Speaking of which, it has been some time since we've actually gotten to sit down and just talk.
It has been, with the consistency of the attacks these past few weeks. Everything else in between, it has been difficult to catch up. It's nice.
It has.
I thank you. Taking the time to console me and ask me such questions. I find being able to voice my thoughts helps me to solidify them in my mind.
It's helpful, for sure. Of course. We are but what the experiences we go through, the choices we make in life.
That I can agree on.
Hey, we're going out for food. You wanna come with?
What was that to us?
No. One moment.
We're going out for food if you two wanna come along.
I think I'm fine. May I ask, who were you speaking to just a moment ago?
Oh, someone was on the roof. So I was just seeing if they wanted to, I think it might have been me. I don't... They had a scythe, so it's one of 4 people, and I'm standing here right now, so...
Why am I not surprised?
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Listening, I'm sure.
I'd be more impressed if they could actually hear us from through that, to be fair.
You would be surprised.
That's fine. I don't.
Some would joke about it in Limsa, but some of us do tend to be quite good listeners.
Indeed. I am one such.
I had a sneaking suspicion he might try to listen in.
I did too. But perhaps it might just do a power of good. But we shall see.
Maybe. Son, one says not to one's face, but in confidence to another sometimes can speak more to their proclivities, if you will, but I don't know.
Let us not dwell on it for now. What other things have you gotten up to since the last we've gotten to speak? And I don't mean by going out and doing the various tasks or the fighting. What other things have brought you joy recently?
Joy? Wow. Slowly recovering my supply of materials, reagents, and such. I quite enjoy it. Relaxing to be able to make things for people, whether they be for coin or for the simple joy of creating them, helping someone. That being said, how long have you known Sir Ryder, if I might ask?
A while. A while.
Has his dietary preferences and habits been so poor for the entirety of the time you have known him?
For the most part, yeah. Though that being said, he does work to take care of himself. He often will put on a face when out and about with people he doesn't really know, or just does so because it feels like it.
I figured as much. Only because I can only imagine the amount of pressure he goes through. Being someone of such stature and renowned, someone even such as myself knows who he is by word of his deeds alone.
It is a lot of pressure.
That being said, to what I meant to say before, well, eating the same thing day in and day out, 6 times a day if he is to be believed by his words. I might have done a bit of cooking for him today.
How did that go?
And, well, he seemed to enjoy it so much that he asked if he could pay me to continue making food for him.
Careful with that.
Handling, yes. I'm a bit concerned about a number of things. Firstly, I don't know what his preferences are outside of cheese-covered meats and breads.
Ryder will pretty much eat just about anything you give him.
The other thing is the ingredients. He is offered to potentially gather them himself, though I do not know if he knows where to find quality supplies.
You would be surprised on some occasions, but for the most part, no.
The other thing is, being known as the Warrior of Light's personal chef is not really on my list of things I would like to be known for.
Indeed, and I would make sure that you put your foot down on that.
Relatively private individual.
Yeah.
Do not like to be bothered.
Indeed.
If I can avoid it.
And that's why as soon as I heard you say that he said that, yeah, that rings a warning flag for me.
I do not mind cooking for him on occasion. I do enjoy the act of cooking. It's fun.
It's more so if you want to
nourish one's body.
It's more so if you we were out and about and you wanted to prepare a meal or something like that. It's not a daily occurrence type thing. Unless, of course, we were traveling great distances, in which case, then, that might be a little different. But if we're in locations of, where it's easy to access to get foods and such, that would be where I would be concerned.
Dear, and let you know, most people are not wanting to move to the Ishkarn map. Just letting you know.
I wasn't planning to anyways, but if they're wanting to go, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that most people don't want to go.
Yeah, that's fine. They don't have to. It's optional.
So, I would love to see you in the Lala.
Later.
Wonderful. Right, have fun.
Been well enough. After the attack last week.
I heard.
A few days to rest and recover. I pushed myself quite far.
I heard about it, and I wish I could have been there to help, but unfortunately I was called away on business. Business I could not ignore.
Well, appreciated your assistance in the matter, though. We managed well enough. I don't believe anyone perished, though there were quite a few severe injuries, especially among the guards. Thankfully, we had a number of healers on hand. Though I'm a bit concerned, as Niche has specific preference not to be healed for reasons I'm sure you can imagine.
Yes.
Based on our earlier conversation. And I believe someone did cast a spell upon him, healing his wounds. I've taken to supplying him with a number of potions as I can prepare them, but
there is going to come a
I can't
point.
exactly be there all the time to stop people from healing him.
And you shouldn't take it upon yourself to do so. This is something that Niche is gonna have to learn. Yes, you can refuse healing magics all you want, but there's going to come to a point where they may get injured, and the only course of treatment is to use healing magic, or else they'll perish. There's only so much those potions can do. Then that is...
so.
I know. That is his choice, though. We cannot force that upon him. Nor can we
Though it
keep an eye on
pains
him.
me to admit it.
I know. It's never easy.
No. I can supply him with potions for a time. Make certain he's well stocked, has what he needs. But if something ever truly goes wrong, I don't know. Is the right thing to do simply to allow him to die? All things considered, I do see him as a friend, and I would hate to see him go, but I would also hate to disrespect his wishes.
To know the pain of knowing you could have helped him but didn't? Or that you did,
To knowing that it was
and he will
well
hate
within
you.
my power. Exactly. Yes, precisely so.
On one hand, you would watch him fall. The other, you would watch him live, but knowing that the next time that you meet, it would not be favorable, if at all. There is no easy answer.
Yeah.
And if that day comes, follow your heart. Let your heart tell you what to do.
My heart says to abide by his wishes.
You may say
Though
that
I know
now.
it would not make me happy.
It may say that
He
now.
would not be the first friend I have lost over the years. But I fear he would be one of the more painful. Though I have not known him long. He's different. I think if anything, his constant remarks, how he believes that I will fall one day, as he likes to put it, only strengthens my resolve to hold fast. I am a bit stubborn when I wish to be.
I understand that all too well. I'm
One
a little
has
bit
to
of the
be when you're
same.
fighting primals. Unwilling to give ground.
Indeed.
Unwilling to give up and fall.
Fight to the end.
Exactly.
I've done that many times. We shall see what happens when that day comes. But until then, let the two of us work together to prove him wrong.
I believe Sir Ryder and a bunch of the others decided to travel to Ishgard.
That's not surprising of them. I don't plan to go over there. Not right now. My first order of business would be to go and get this sensor done. And
I will as well, though I am a bit worried, having never been to Garabanya. I've heard of the Veladonia River. I was told it was just beyond the wall, but I don't know much else beyond this.
Would you like me to guide you? I'd be happy to.
If you would.
I
would appreciate the company either way.
Of course.
Just in case anything out there gets a bit dicey. The roads less traveled, or at least unfamiliar, tend to be the most dangerous.
The Grand Company has, for the most part, kept that area, at least, relatively safe. But yes, I would be happy to travel with you.
I wonder if I could inquire with Twin Adders for a map. Should probably return to Gridania anyways. We'll need to find a suitable place to stay for the evening. It's been nice returning to Gridania, though. Quite liked my time there. Before I started living elsewhere.
A beautiful place indeed.
Takes me back.
I have two homes, technically. My home in Shirogane.
You've mentioned this before. Yes.
Shirogane and Charlian. Charlian for obvious reasons.
I never personally traveled to Kuragane, as leaving the forests was forbidden.
Perhaps I will invite you over.
Maybe. Hopefully soon I will have strength to make such long voyages, though I fear traveling to Kurogane could take quite some time.
This is where I would say, if you wanted to travel to Kugane, you would simply take the Aetheryte.
Well, I would say so if I had ever been there.
Indeed. So, in that regard, perhaps instead of taking a ship, I could pull a small favor from Sid. Take the airship over.
That might be faster than going by boat.
Very much so.
My first instinct was to wonder whether or not there was a boat that travels there from Limsa or perhaps Gridania. Traveling here from Damascus at the time, when I left, authored for the first time. I think it was several days. No, it was at least more than a 7-day, but...
There
the
are
days began
ships.
to string together after the first 2 or 3. Being on a boat does not suit me well.
There are ships from Limsa that do sail to Kugane and to Charlian both. So.
Old Charlian?
Yes, to old Charlian. I simply just call it Charlene. It's easier that way.
I suppose it makes more sense.
To each their own. You will hear both.
New Charlian has seemingly been renamed to Idleshire, so I'm told.
Hmm. It has, yes.
Which reminds me, Sir Ryder was also offering to travel there with me. I've never actually been to Javania. He mentioned the presence of a large metal machine, a primal by the name of Alexander. He says it seems to be frozen in some sort of bubble. He was telling me about it, though, rather incoherently at the time.
Yes, it is a primal known as Alexander. That's a story for another time.
I shall look forward to it. I suppose, despite the danger that they pose, I find primals to be fascinating. They are our will made manifest. That Aether could take such a shape. It is both something miraculous and supremely terrifying.
Very much so.
Fighting against them is about the same. Never have I lived with such energy in my heart, while also being so afraid.
The thrill of fighting a creature so powerful, yet terrifies you and excites you all the same.
Precisely.
Yeah, I know that. I fought my fair share of primals.
I wish to hear more of them then, perhaps.
Perhaps I can tell you a few
I'm
stories
told that
about
the
ones
grand
that you don't know.
companies have brought most of the different beast tribes and such under their reign to make certain that they stop summoning them so constantly.
Not so much under their
Makes me
reign.
wonder if
More so an alliance.
making certain they are unable to do so. Oh, I'm been told about the alliance, but more that the different beast tribes have long been their own entities, I suppose, in a political sense, but watching over them and reducing the threat that they pose by limiting the amount of crystals that they can so easily obtain, take for themselves.
It also helps when the grand companies have found a way to free those tempered.
Really? They did.
A long and
This
arduous
I had not heard
task.
of.
But a way has been found. So it is not so much more of a threat of the beast tribes summoning. It's more of those of the remainder still following old tradition. I say traditions in quotations.
I understand.
But for the most part, it is.
Bring up a question I have been pondering, but too afraid to ask. Before the accident and all of this, I never truly understood why I was never tempered and enthralled by these primals until someone mentioned something called the Echo. My first visit here, meeting yourself, the writer, and the others, they spoke of this power and mentioned that it gives them the ability to resist primals And that if I possess the ability to resist them, this may indicate that this echo is something that I also possess, unknowingly, though it might be.
It's quite possible. As you said, you have
Is there
stood your
any
ground.
further insight you could provide?
Yes.
Or is this another story for another time?
You know me too well.
Very well.
This is a long story, though. So, we'd be prudent if we have time to sit down together and to listen to it in its
I
entirety.
wish not to keep you. But I would be interested to know more when that time comes.
Of course. I would be happy to share it with you.
And I to listen.
Well then. I have to go up to the churning mists. Would you like to accompany me? And then together we can... Well, we can go about to the fringes together. Or would you like me to meet you over at the Baelsar's wall? And we can travel to the fringes together that way.
I suppose I've never been there, but if you're willing, I wouldn't mind.
Well, if you want to travel with me, I would not be opposed for the company. I do so much enjoy travel with company, after all. It is...
As do I.
It makes things so much better. That being said, I'll probably have to ask for some help from a few of the dragons up in the Churning Mists. The island that Luluma wants me to go to is very far off.
Oh.
There are
I suppose it's not particularly surprising, but after hearing all the stories at the end of the Dragonsong War, I suppose it only makes sense that some are at least amicable.
I'll have to see if I can find...
Child.
Hmm.
Or in Ishgard? I forget what they said its name was.
The one that landed in Ishgard?
Yes, they said something about there being a bit of a coup some years back.
Oh, a coup with what?
Oh, that one. Vidofnir.
Supposedly people within the clergy, I believe. What do they call themselves? The Holy See?
The Holy See, yes.
Yes, something about a number of them revolting after the Dragonsong War was ended. And apparently a child was threatened and thrown off a building.
That's how the story goes, and the child was saved by the daughter of Hreisvelger, Vidofnir.
That's right.
That being said, I might see if I can find Hreisvelger's son. And see if I can get his aid to get over to that island.
I believe that's Hardent.
Yep, call it in their chat. We're about to end on our end anyway, so. Well then. See if we can find some help, and then we can make quick work of this one. Besides, it'd be nice for you to see the mists.
It'd be nice to see them with my own eyes.
It's very unique. Let's put it that way. Ugh. Being a little sneaky little get. Was that you with your mic crackling, by the way, or was that Bibis?
I was there. I don't know if it was my mic crackling.
That would have okay.
Mic crackling, that's just global.
That was me.
That's global.
No, that's I think it was from.
Global, but I was here.
Yeah, I know you were there.
No, that's,
Yeah.
it's been happening the entire time. No,
Has
it
it?
happens all the time. Yeah, it happens.
That was the first I've heard
constantly
it.
throughout the sessions.
That's first for me. I've not heard it since.
Ray, you're just being ignored.
I am being ignored. What the fuck is this?
Hi.
Hi.
My
Being
God.
said, the moment we sat down, I was like, I bet Niche is gonna be sitting out.
Yeah, I was expecting it.
you.
I was
Fucking
expecting
goblin.
it.
did
I
good.
know this boy.
My body.
I was
They had a
100%
panic attack
expecting
by
it.
themselves, and they're like, okay, now I'm gonna go back and find. Where'd they go? Where'd they? Oh, they're talking about me.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta listen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very curious to hear what Niche thought of that. I'm gonna probably listen to your VOD on that one.
On your shoulder. Hello, I'm gonna be
If you voiced
they
any
didn't
opinions.
say anything in their head, but they said a lot in the conversation they
you were
had
trying
with
to
the
do
guy
something
after as a front.
cool.
But I know you were trying to be so sweet to
My
Ryder,
chat
but
was
I
having
had
a
sandwich
hard
to
time
make.
hearing, and I didn't want it to
Yeah.
them to actually miss it. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's you can get a lot in the facial
Not gonna lie, I
expressions
should
or
probably actually have
in the conversation they had with Soren if he gets over here, where he is.
Mm-mm.
Night, I'm heading home.
There he is.
See ya.
Did this one and was very edgy about it.
I was OG or you were?
All right, cause you you fucking asked for this, Juna. All right.
It was like a conversation. I enjoyed it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I loved it.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
Small.
Small.
She's so cute.
Shortening will begin.
She didn't dish the secret, so that's awesome.
Not happening.
That's that's perfectly fine. Well, Juju just got sent flying.
Down on that now.
You really do need to put like a contact on that to have the frying pan song.
I require hugs.
Maybe. I'll see
Thank
what I
you,
can
Mitty.
do.
Hell yeah.
I love you, Mitty. I love
My
you.
turn.
Avoid hugs.
Yeah.
I love you.
I know, but you asked me like I think it was 2 times about my Void's name. Like,
I know what I was gonna. I know what name I'll give it for Sarai, because like Sarai rarely touches her Reaper. She rarely touches it.
yeah.
It'll be Aurora.
I'm also. Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm waiting for there to be a Reaper.
Chance to fully like say why.
Whose void sense is just named something like Buttercup.
Bad memories.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That's why he gives.
I'm waiting.
Random nicknames that he gets.
I'm actually glad. I think I got this like the perfect fucking
He
height.
doesn't say one nickname.
You really did.
Oh yeah. He doesn't stay.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Grab. Get in there. Get in the furnace.
Oh, I actually haven't checked how this looks.
It looks really good.
Just a little bit of time to make the inside have like a little.
It looks really good. Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Glowy.
Niche was like so upset.
Yeah.
That this one didn't
It looks really good.
They were like, public was like, ugh. There's a reason.
It's super simple.
Yeah.
My boy has a racist white
my God.
This little guy in there.
Christ.
That shit.
I would
Very,
also like to say I
very
still
good
had
at
a dumb
gremlin-esque
So I
voices.
don't know if I touched on
Oh
it.
yeah, you get to see her new hair toggle now.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, why you bring up stuff?
Pretty lady.
I haven't done post.
Oh, you want to see something even more fun?
Like, still,
I have another toggle on her.
but still, the 13s were brought up.
What?
Yeah, the 13th is lore before the post quest.
Look at her dress.
So I already knew about that. I haven't done post Endwalker yet.
Oh.
So
Where's the rest of it?
When I knew
Just
that
my thought
when she was
process.
talking about it, I knew I
How'd you
was
get it only on your? Oh, there it is. Does it only appear on the dress, or?
So it's a 50-50 toggle. So if I put the wheel to halfway, it's only on the dress. If I go past 50%, then it starts doing it on her.
Dress though.
I went through the void.
Because of that's how she did it.
a lot for that.
Did I help you run Void Arc?
Also, hold on. Let me move your hand.
Yes, you did. But yeah, I still haven't done post. So every
Did they take time to make an extra normal map to make the blood raised?
thought process. So I
Probably.
don't know if that touched on, post or not.
Oh my god, that is so fucking extra and really.
It's Sophie.
I'm wondering what your fucking. Well, yeah, but I'm also wondering what your texture memory looks like. Oh, that's not awful. 76 megabytes. It's not gonna leave a lot of room for other stuff, but it's kind of worth it.
13, all I know is I'm going into the Forbidden Soup.
Yeah.
So I do mine like really flat because I don't raise it.
I can always ask her about that too when I see her next. I'm gonna try and sit down with her. Cause there's a few more
I just
things.
make it look really wet.
Yeah. Well, because you know what her biggest thing is that she has, so it kind of makes sense for her to have like more of it.
I made
More blood?
Mm-hmm. It's her.
Well,
it's her one
no,
weakness.
I mean,
thing.
it being raised doesn't necessarily mean more blood. It just more accurate because blood pools and.
Yeah.
I would think it would be flat because blood smears and it forms a thin layer before dripping off.
Mm-hmm. I can always ask her about it.
So like that blood should be like falling out of your hands.
Yeah.
Dripping.
Mm-hmm. I can ask her about
like
it.
The freshest of the fresh.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense for the kind of. It's like the thing is though too. It's like she's like she's like kind of like covering her wounds and such.
Yeah.
The one thing that I need to have her do is see if she can make it so it goes on the claws itself, because bloodied claws makes absolute fucking sense. So.
we have a problem.
The thing is, like with my stuff,
That looks so good though. It looks real good.
As a reaper, so.
You know what's really funny? This smoke.
Since we're not doing any combat stuff, you won't need that.
This smoke is actually the smoke that I made for Warp.
Oh my god.
And the custom shader that I built for Warp.
Yeah.
So that way it interacts with real-time lighting and like the color of real-time lighting.
Oh
better.
shit. That's cool.
Yeah. I was able to reuse it.
Hell yeah, we love that.
The shape of it will have to change dependent.
The ponytail's adorable. Or the ponytail's beautiful, yeah.
Fry pan.
Yeah, you need a contact on that, so like when you bonk someone's contact model, you just hear that bong.
I want to get other sound effects, but the problem is I don't know where to get sound effects from Final Fantasy without like just having to go in and manually collect them myself.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, I don't know where a good place to get all the sound files is.
Ask Morph. Ask Morph.
Is Morph now?
I think so, because he's gonna try and get some for Sarai for her combat, which I need to poke him about and make sure that that's almost done.
How do you do, gamer?
Hey, go good! Midi!
I'll take photo
Attack!
of the model I have that I made for the boy.
The little flailing of the arms, that's cute.
Yeah, it's just, it has like, every single one goes.
It's different.
That's funny as shit.
14, I changed the race in here. Is that a fucking hassle with the fucking ears?
Got them zappy sticks.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What was that noise?
What the fucking shit?
Oh my god, Kristen! The fucking tiny scream!
That's like a ribbon squeak. That's a ribbon squeak.
People can't tell Ribbon and I apart sometimes.
Yeah, I can see why.
Ooh, best friend privilege. We just.
Where the fuck is
God, that's cool.
There I am.
Yeah.
Whoosh. Oh.
Oh, I see. You made it at like a top shape. That's interesting.
I'm gonna creep.
I didn't make this. Sophie made this. Sophie made all of this.
Well, I am observing their handiwork, and I'm just like, deconstruct, deconstruct, deconstruct.
Yeah.
How could I do that?
I love her work.
Model making.
Yeah, I love her work. Her work is so beautiful.
Once you know. Once you have enough knowledge, you begin to deconstruct things. You can never look at something and go, oh, that's neat. You go, oh, I wonder how I made that.
I need to have her add context to this so like when they hit a player model, it actually explodes.
Well, you can't do player contacts.
Damn.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, it doesn't.
How did you make it then with Arbor's gun then? How did you do that?
That's a different system, and that doesn't appear for me. It appears for only the person it's hitting, which is taking advantage of the fact that. So, say I have a gun or something that fires off a particle, and when it hits surfaces or certain colliders, it goes, you know, does that. Guess what? It'll never collide for you.
Oh.
Or other people. But it will only collide for that specific purpose, for that specific person that it's hitting.
Gotcha. Or else it would have like a multiple overlay problem, right?
Sort of. So it's kind of how, like, say for instance, let me see if I can find any good examples of models I know use this or have this problem. I'm fairly certain Sakotos does this. I'm gonna swap into her model real quick. Oh wait, does this one have the thing on it? It does. Okay. So if I hit you with this, it should stop for you on you. But for others, it will look like it's going through you.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
For you, it will stop on you, but for them, it will look like it's going through you.
Well, that's kind of like the thing that I'm like.
Actually, I can hit myself with it, and it appears to be stopping on me. But I know for others, it appears like it's going through there.
Yeah. That's one of the things that's like I was wondering. It's like how to like make like these actually like seem like they're actually hitting a target without actually like, you know, aiming down here to make it like do that. You know what I mean? That's what I've been like trying to figure out.
You can't do that, unfortunately. You just have to know that that's just not going to work.
So that's and that's why I was like with these, I always
until they create something that enables that.
So that's why it's like I always aim for like the feet, so just like it, like they can actually see like the detonation happen.
Well, shoot it at my chest. See, I see that, but you cannot. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I can see it hitting me. That's
oh
what
wow.
I'm saying.
Okay, I didn't even think of that. Okay.
You can, you don't have to, you don't worry. Well, and that's why Arbor's gun works the way it does. It hits the other person, and the collisions off of that trigger a subparticle that does the overlay thing. The way they.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
It only hits. It only collides for the person that it's hitting. Locally. Then. I don't have to worry about, like, oh, if I shoot somebody with this, suddenly they start seeing the overlay too.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Or if I shoot myself with it.
See you, Juna.
They don't see it. You know?
Thank you for the gremlin, by the way.
Good night. You're welcome.
Little gremlin.
Yeah.
Gremlin.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to that episode. We have something really stupid planned for that.
Lalafell one?
Yeah.
Isn't that one non-canon?
It's non-canon, yes. It's non-canon. So that's why we're like, you know.
I think it could be, but that's understandable. I understand.
No, we have something very specific planned for it. That's why. We took the idea and made it better.
I'm proud of you.
He kind of came to us when I brought it up at the meeting. I was just like, we want to, like, this got proposed. Can we do this? Yes. What if we made this better? Oh, we made this better.
Oh my god.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, yeah. Damn.
If for that void scent meetup, I'm gonna actually have like an actual model be made and with. It's gonna.
Let's go.
It's me pain in the
I did
ass.
have a toggle for mine, but it's not working.
I don't want to go through the whole.
Take it into Unity.
I just don't want to go through the animation.
I love that gun.
For what I could do, it was basically they can only appear
nice
the
gun.
same way that
It
they
is a
would
nice
in
gun.
like Reaper attacks, or if it is in social settings, it should be very brief, which is why I've got like this, and ideally I use this most of the time, not at all. Like most episodes they don't show up.
Yeah, because we don't necessarily want that to. Yeah, because void scent things are weird in this lore. Especially when we're working off the limitations of we know nothing of the 13th except that the void scent are from the void. And then the 13th is the void. That's all we know. So it's like a lot of other stuff is like
Technically true.
the Reaper questline stuff. Yes, that one we do know.
Void Arc.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that one. Yeah, but it's like I'm talking more of like the stuff that we find in 6.1. I'm talking about the 6.1 stuff. Because there is a lot of information there.
Also the Mdapur series and the City of Mach.
Yup.
You get a
Yeah,
good
Benny
bit
and
of exposure
Goldsmith.
to. Yeah, you get a good
Old quest stuff in
exposure to it.
ARR. Yeah.
I was gonna reference that today during the RP when you were talking, but the topic moved on. I was gonna be like, oh yeah, well, I mean, if you want good examples of people going too far, look at Mdapur Keep, the City of Mach.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know people
Two
like.
peoples who sought to
I'm
destroy
referencing
themselves.
a Reaper lore about if they fail to
each
with
other.
the blood pact with the Avatar just possesses them.
It was more. That was if they lose control.
Was that the seventh? Was that the seventh?
Lose control and failing to uphold their deal, and then
Yeah.
the Void said we'll try and
Was
eat them. And
the War of the
professional
Magi
Reapers
was the
learn
seventh?
how to kill their own Void Center.
War of the Magi was the 7th Umbral, I believe.
The seventh Umbral.
Yeah, because no. Sorry, 7th was Bahamut. It was It's six. 6 is the War of the Magi. 5th was the Great Flood.
I had a.
4th was the earthquake.
Sixth Umbral Calamity. Yes.
Yeah, the 4th was the earthquake with the Crystal Tower and the fall of the Allegan Empire. The 3rd was the thunderstorms that basically rent the world. I forget what the 1st and 2nd ones were. Because each one's an element tied.
One of them was fire.
Yeah, there was one of them was the fire that swept across the globe, or across the star. I think that was the first calamity. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the fire was the first, and then I think 2nd was wind. No, 2nd was the ice. 2nd was ice because the world froze over, which is how the Makote tribes actually came to Eorzea. And that's how the Makote came to the and split into the 26 tribes.
The water froze over and they just walked across.
Yep, the whole world froze over.
They made a land bridge.
Literally, yeah.
I know. I think at one point, Karthus was full of grass and green.
Yes,
before
but
got
it
frozen
changed
over.
because of the 7th Umbral Calamity. It was because of Bahamut's. No, Bahamut fucked that up.
Yeah.
I know lore shit.
Lore.
Alright, I'm gonna go and stream. I'll be right back.
That's fair.
Alrighty. Short stream, but yeah, I had no internet and I wasn't feeling well earlier, so. But I'm glad I was able to come in for a little bit. So, who can I go send you all off to? You know what? I'm gonna go and send you all over to Chromia. She's doing some Iron Grip RP. So go over there, give her some love. She is a fantastic role player and someone I very much enjoy getting to roleplay with. And I think I'll be doing an Aegis lobby tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on what time it is. Because I saw that there was something going on beforehand that starts a little later in the night, so we'll see. But yeah. Appreciate y'all hanging out and watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Got to have some fun stuff. And yeah, go give Chromie a love, and I will see you all next time. Bye.